From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Well, can you believe it? The Reading Rodeo is happening today. It is the first rodeo of the 2024 season, May 15th through the 18th is what we're looking at. Now, Friday and Saturday are sold out, but Wednesday, today, and Thursday are still available. You can purchase your tickets at readingrodeo.com. Now, if you're heading out there today, I want you to make sure you've got water. And if you don't have it, I'm sure they're going to sell water. Make sure you stay hydrated. Alcoholic beverages will not keep you hydrated. Water will, okay? So that's the best thing you can do. So if you're going to have alcoholic beverages, make sure you accompany that with water. Very important. But those temperatures will start to drop though. Still, as the gates open at 5 p.m., pretty hot, right? But as we go into 7 p.m., still hot, but it's dropping. We're in the upper 80s by 8 p.m., and then by the time we get closer to the end, yeah, we're talking upper 70s. So that should make things a little bit more pleasant once we do get closer to sunset. Increased fire danger today, by the way. We need to talk about that. That's something we need to have in the back of our minds. Maybe hold off mowing your lawn today. Maybe do whatever you can to help prevent these wildfires, because yes, we still have a lot of moisture in those fuels, but we just don't want those fires to start, especially when we are looking at those winds picking up and things drying out a bit. Lower humidities today than we saw yesterday even. Valley highs will be approaching, if not reaching that 100-degree mark today, with the cooling trend as we approach the weekend. Highs much closer to normal by the time we get into the end of the weekend, and in particular for early next week. Now again, we could get up to about 100 degrees today for some of the hottest spots in the valley. Otherwise, mainly in the 80s for the higher elevations. However, Trinity County, mid-90s, and along the coast between 65 and 70 degrees today. So we have this ridge of high pressure that's in place. That ridge, though, is what's going to be breaking down and allowing your temperatures to drop. But before we get into that, I do want to mention we're still kind of looking at some of that persistent fog in some areas of central Humboldt County along the coast. Otherwise, sunny skies for the rest of us. I mean, even for Del Norte County, seeing some clear skies to start off the day on Thursday. Now, there may be some fog kind of making its way into even parts of Crescent City on Thursday, mainly parts of Humboldt County, but southern Humboldt County where we typically see some of those more clear skies. And then going into Friday morning, some of that fog even making its way into those inland valleys. Friday afternoon, yeah, it looks like we'll actually see some clearing for those inland valleys. But again, some of those low clouds may be trying to kind of hover around the coast near Eureka. Otherwise, mainly sunny skies for places like Crescent City and, of course, southern Humboldt County. So let's talk about that fire weather risk. So today, we've got that north wind. You see the yellows and oranges? That's moderate to high when we're talking about that fire danger. Now, it's on the lower end of high, but still, kind of that time of the year we need to start thinking about that and have that in the back of our mind when we're going throughout the day, especially if you have any outdoor things anything that you're doing outside that could spark a fire. You need to be extra careful. But look at this, as we go into Thursday, more of a south wind, and we're barely even getting in those yellows. So much better conditions when we're talking about that fire weather risk. And how about Friday? Even though the winds will shift more from the north, we're not even getting into the yellows. So conditions are improving. And one of the things that really does help is the fact that temperatures won't be as hot as they will be today. So yes, the highest fire danger will be today. That's one of the reasons, because it's so hot out there. But again, those north winds and dry conditions, that's also a contributing factor. But as temperatures drop, still warm, right? Still pretty hot, but at least we're not close to 100 degrees. And then by the time we get into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, look at this. The normal high is 82 degrees for Reading. We're probably going to be around normal by the time we do get into closer to the beginning of next week. All right, so here's the big ridge of high pressure. It's expanding into our region, so it's not directly over us. That's the key. You can bet it would be hotter if this thing was right on top of us, but it's not. It's going to keep our temperatures fairly hot today. Now, I think we'll see a slight little spike in our temperatures tomorrow for the mountains, but elsewhere we'll see those temperatures start to drop. It's all thanks to these storm systems up here riding to our north, flattening out the ridge, pushing that heat down to our south and west. We see that for Friday. As we go into Saturday, Sunday, that cooler air begins to kind of cool down. That moves on out of here by Sunday. And look at this, even cooler by Monday, Tuesday, as another shot of cold air comes in from the Gulf of Alaska, and Alaska in general, and Canada. And that drops our temperatures down even more by Monday, Tuesday, and until Wednesday of next week. Now, as far as rain is concerned, there's a lot of going back and forth on if there's going to be any available moisture for rain associated with all this. So this is something we'll have to watch there too. If we see anything, it'll most likely be in the mountains as we go into the second half of the weekend and maybe early next week. But for now, I'm keeping things dry at this point. About 100 degrees, give or take, in the valley today. It's going to be a hot one out there, so make sure you stay hydrated if you need to be outside today. Temperatures mainly in the 80s, though, for the northern and eastern mountains. And there you can see mid-90s for Trinity County, at least for the warmer spots like Weaverville, Hayfork, but Ruth down to about 91 for a high today. 96 degrees, mid-90s for the inland areas, and we could see some, I'd say about 65 to 70 along the coast. Eureka may have a harder time getting warmer because I think we'll see some of that fog kind of come back in and maybe a bit more sunshine for places like Crescent City, for example. So when we look at that 7-day outlook, this is looking pretty nice. You can see temperatures peaking today, but then they do start to drop as we take you into early next week. By Monday, Tuesday, low to mid 80s. I mean, not bad. That's pretty close to normal for this time of the year. For the coast, not going to see much of that spread. I mean, yes, we're warming up today, but temperatures back down basically in the low 60s for Thursday through Tuesday. Where we're going to notice that drop in those temperatures will be in the inland areas, and not to mention for Trinity County as well. And looking at your 7-day outlook for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and the Eastern Mountains, also seeing that trend downward. However, tomorrow, we'll see a slight spike in our temperatures for the mountains, especially in Siskiyou, Modoc, and Eastern Mountains, and then temperatures after that will start to drop as we approach the weekend and even going into early next week.